Once upon a time, in a small village at the foot of a tall hill, there lived a young boy named Kuji. Kuji was a curious child, always filled with questions about life and the true meaning of happiness. He often gazed at the world around him and wondered why humans existed and what made life truly fulfilling. One day, Kuji heard the villagers talk about a wise Zen master who lived at the top of the highest hill. They said that anyone who sought him would learn to understand themselves and attain peace within their soul. Driven by a deep desire to seek truth, Kuji decided to climb the hill to meet the master. The journey was not easy, the path was steep, and the wind blew fiercely, but his determination kept him going. Finally, after a long climb, Kuji reached a quiet Zen temple nestled among bamboo groves. There he met a kind old man with gentle eyes and a calm smile. With great respect and eagerness for enlightenment, Kuji approached and asked, "Master, how can I find Zen, the state of enlightenment and inner peace?" That question marked the beginning of the most profound journey of his life. A journey not only to discover Zen, but also to understand the meaning of effort and of living itself. When the master heard Kuji's question, he smiled softly. Looking at the boy with knowing eyes, he said quietly, 10 years. Kuji was surprised. 10 years to find Zen. His youthful spirit refused to stop there. He asked eagerly, "Master, if I work twice as hard as everyone else, could I achieve Zen sooner?" The master nodded gently and replied calmly, 20 years. This puzzled Kuji. Why longer? He couldn't understand. The fire of determination still burned within him, so he asked again, "Then, if I dedicate my entire life to practice, thinking of nothing else but Zen, how long will it take?" The master smiled and said softly, 30 years. Kuji fell silent. He felt confused and disappointed. Why did greater effort seem to push the goal further away? Seeing the boy's bewildered eyes, the master spoke slowly. When you have one eye fixed on the goal, you have only one eye left to see the path. The more you rush to the destination, the more you forget how to walk. Kuji sat quietly, reflecting. He realized the master wasn't just talking about meditation, but about life itself. Sometimes people desire success so deeply that they forget the meaning of the journey. At that moment, Kuji understood that to find Zen or anything truly great, one must not fixate on the result, but learn to cherish each step, each breath, and each moment along the way. After hearing the master's teaching, Kuji sat in deep thought. The evening breeze rustled through the bamboo, echoing his contemplation. The master smiled gently and continued, his voice flowing like a calm stream. Imagine you are climbing a tall tree to reach a ripe, sweet fruit at the top. If you keep looking up at the fruit, dreaming of its taste, you may lose your balance and fall. But if you focus on each step, on where you place your hands and feet, you'll climb steadily, and eventually the fruit will be within your reach. Those words enlightened Kuji's mind. He realized that Zen lies not at the destination, but within every moment of effort and awareness. Humans often chase rewards, fame, success, recognition, and forget that the journey itself is the greatest gift. The master continued, "Life is like climbing that tree. If you think only of the fruit at the end, you lose the joy of climbing. But if you embrace the learning, the practice, the daily effort, you'll see that every small step forward is part of happiness itself." Kuji bowed gratefully. He understood that true achievement is not found in the final result, but in the growth that comes from every effort. From that day on, he stopped asking, "How long until I find Zen?" and instead began living fully in each moment, finding joy in everything he did. And in that very moment, when he no longer searched for Zen, Zen found him. In every breath, every step, and in the stillness of his own heart. When Kuji left the temple at the hilltop, the sun was setting, painting the sky in golden hues. He felt a strange lightness in his heart, as if a burden had finally been lifted. The master's words echoed in his mind. When one eye looks toward the goal, only one eye remains for the path. As he descended the hill, Kuji pondered deeply. He began to see that life was much like the tree the master had described. Each of us has our own sweet fruit waiting, success, knowledge, dreams. But if we only look upward, we lose our balance and miss the beauty of the climb. Kuji started to see things differently. When learning something new, he no longer rushed to master it, but focused on daily practice, mistakes, and small moments of progress. When working, he learned to love the process itself, not just the results. Gradually, he discovered that true peace and enlightenment blossom quietly within ordinary effort. The master once said, "Do not only look to the mountain's peak, cherish each stone along the path you walk." From then on, Kuji understood that success is not an endpoint, but a journey of patience and discovery. Every step, every challenge, no matter how small, is part of Zen. Thus, Kuji no longer sought Zen, for he carried Zen within him, in everything he did, and in the simple joy of living fully in the present moment. After many days of reflection and practice, Kuji finally grasped a profound truth. The true reward of life is not the final result, but the journey of effort that leads there. He realized that when people chase goals, fame, wealth, success, they often forget the present, where real growth and happiness reside. The destination, he saw, is only a fleeting moment. The journey itself is what life truly is. Kuji began to slow down. Each morning he breathed in the scent of grass, listened to the wind, and felt joy simply in being alive. When studying or working, he focused on the joy of small steps instead of worrying about when he would succeed. He came to see that every drop of sweat, every stumble, was proof of progress and growth. The master had once said, "Love the path itself, for it is the path that brings you happiness, not because it leads you to the goal, but because it makes you worthy of it." Kuji carried those words in his heart forever. He realized that Zen is not something to attain, but a way of living, a state of awareness, gratitude, and presence in every moment. And so Kuji's quest for Zen became no longer a search, but a way of life. A life of mindfulness, effort, and thankfulness for each step on his own path.